Hey everyone, and welcome back to another edition of The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here with us today. Look, today we're actually stepping away from the tactics on the pitch. Instead, we're going to look into the private life of literally one of the most recognizable people on the planet, Cristiano Ronaldo. But more specifically, we're zooming in on his partnership with Georgina Rodríguez. And that brings us right to the big question for today's Explainer. How exactly did Georgina change Ronaldo? I mean, think about it. Cristiano was already this colossal global icon when they met, right? But a lot of fans and observers out there believe that the moment she entered his life, something fundamental really shifted. And not just how he played on the grass, but who he was at home. So, can a partner actually change the trajectory of someone who is already operating at the absolute peak of human performance? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack. Okay, let's dive right into this with Section 1, Life Before Georgina, the Machine. So picture this. It's 2016, and Ronaldo's resume is already just staggering. We're talking multiple league titles across different countries, Champions League trophies hoisted high, and an unbelievable collection of Ballon d'Or awards. His entire life was built around football. It was this existence totally defined by incredibly strict discipline and a constant, literally unrelenting pressure to perform at a superhuman level week in and week out. He was a global superstar, sure, but his world was highly insulated. It was almost entirely consumed by the sport. And this perfectly illustrates the crazy tension he was facing back then. On one side, you have the footballer, driven by strict discipline, the immense pressure, the need for just constant flawless performance. But competing right against that is the very real human need for balance, because even someone as singularly focused as Ronaldo still needs grounding, family connections outside the pitch, a personal sanctuary away from the roaring stadiums. Moving on to Section 2, a life-changing meeting, the catalyst. Slash forward to 2016, they meet in Madrid. And honestly, what's so striking here is the contrast. While he was literally the world's biggest athlete, Georgina was working in retail. It's just a remarkably grounded beginning, isn't it? As their relationship slowly became public, fans immediately started noticing something pretty special. She was just a totally natural fit into his existing family life. And a huge part of that integration was how quickly and deeply she bonded with Cristiano Jr. Ronaldo himself has actually spoken publicly with so much appreciation about just how crucial that specific bond was to him. All right, Section 3, the power of balance, the transformation. As things got more serious, they started building a larger family together, and mostly away from the glaring flash of the paparazzi. Georgina often shares these little glimpses of everyday life, simple family dinners, celebrating birthdays, taking quiet vacations. And for Ronaldo, this growing family rapidly became one of his absolute biggest motivations outside of the sport itself. Those everyday, grounded moments, they basically became his anchor. Now, what's really interesting is how all of this fits into his routine. We all know Ronaldo for his legendary discipline, right? It's a complete ecosystem: meticulous training, optimized recovery, super strict nutrition, heavily regulated sleep. But rather than disrupting any of this, Georgina is actively seen supporting this incredibly demanding lifestyle, all while simultaneously carving out those warm, memorable family moments. She essentially helps sustain the machine while at the same time building a deeply rooted home. And this creates such a profound contrast. Elite athletes carry this crushing, enormous weight. Every single match, every tweak or potential injury, every new season, it all brings a fresh wave of massive expectations. But having a stable, emotionally supportive partner right there in your corner, that completely changes how you carry that weight. Ronaldo has been really public with his gratitude for Georgina's support. While we obviously don't know every private detail, it's very clear they function as a unified team, celebrating those incredible highs and facing the inevitable challenges together. Which brings us to Section 4, Facing Tragedy Together, the Crucible. Sadly, the challenges they faced eventually went far, far beyond the pressures of football. In 2022, they spoke publicly about the absolutely tragic loss of one of their newborn twins. It was an incredibly dark, devastating time, but they faced it together. They also expressed this profound gratitude for the massive outpouring of support they received from fans all around the world during such an unimaginably difficult period. They really had to lean heavily on one another and on that global community. Their openness during that dark period did something really profound in the public eye. For over a decade, we had only really seen the invincible football icon, the flawless athlete. But here, the world saw a vulnerable father, a deeply devoted partner. It was this profoundly humanizing moment that we, as fans, very rarely get to see from a superstar of his magnitude. Let's look at Section 5, her true impact, the resolution. So the crucial point we need to make is this. Georgina didn't magically create Cristiano Ronaldo's legendary work ethic, right? That innate drive, that unstoppable determination, that was there long before they ever met in 2016. Ultimately, his football success comes from his own years of extraordinary, relentless dedication. But what she did provide was vital stability. She gave him profound emotional support and a strong family environment during the absolute most high-pressure years of his career. She was and is that essential emotional foundation. And that really brings us to the final takeaway from our source material today. Behind every single public figure, no matter how famous, no matter how seemingly invincible they appear, there is a private life that very few people truly get to see. For Cristiano Ronaldo, family has clearly become one of his absolute greatest priorities, and Georgina has been a deeply significant part of that whole chapter. It's just a powerful reminder that human connection is the bedrock of everything. Even the world's biggest stars value love, support, and family above all else. So I'm going to leave you with this final question to think about. Based on everything we've unpacked today, did Georgina have a positive influence on Cristiano Ronaldo's life? Just how much does that off-pitch stability truly fuel on-pitch greatness? I really want you to reflect on this story. And hey, I would absolutely love to see you spark a conversation in the comments below. Let me know what your biggest takeaway was from this explainer. Thank you so much for learning with me today, and I'll see you in the next one.